For whatever reason, I have noticed a bunch of mock drafts beginning to appear. And, I guess I understand why they appear. People like me, dumb people like me, click on them. But for the life of me, man, it's so irritating because people create all these gigantic draft boards, all these predictions, and we don't even know who's entering the NFL draft yet. I'm seeing names like Justin Herbert and Dwayne Haskins, and they haven't even made their decision. We don't know if they're going to be in the draft yet. How can you make a mock draft without it? It drives me nuts. I don't know. Some people even have Daniel Jones, the Duke quarterback, who's a junior and not that great, going in the first round of the New York Giants. Are you kidding me? I don't know. Oh, man. That's an absurd thought. So what I have done today is I have compiled my notes on each quarterback. This is a preliminary thoughts. I still have a lot more research to do. I want to watch a lot more tape before I make definitive final says, but I do have a top three. I'm going to give you my top three in order quarterbacks that are supposedly entering the NFL draft. These are the guys I like the most. I'll tell you why. And I don't know that I'm going to change on that. I've watched a lot of film on these three guys. So I just want to share my current view. It's subject to change. It could completely change. I don't know. But this is my current view on all of the quarterbacks potentially entering the NFL draft. So again, I plan to rank my top three. I plan to explain the ranking, tell you why, and not only just explain that, but tell you where I think each quarterback would fit best in the NFL, what team I think they should go to if things went out ideally. Now, right off the bat, I want to say this. I am not going to talk about Jake Browning, quarterback from the University of Washington. He's bad. He's not very good. He does a lot of terrible things, makes terrible decisions, bad interceptions, bad throws. I don't want to talk about Jake Browning. I don't want to do it at all in this process. He's a sixth-round quarterback at best. He's just not. He's a backup. I don't care about Jake Browning. I get a lot of comments. What do you think Jake Browning is going to do? Nothing. He's trash. He's not very good. I'm sorry. You UW fans even know that. And briefly, I want to talk about Trace McSorley. This is another comment I get. Talk about Trace McSorley, the Penn State quarterback. Look, he's fun to watch. And I really hope he plays in the AAF, honestly, because I want to watch Trace McSorley. He's fun. He's scrappy. He can run. He's like Johnny Manziel with a little bit more accuracy and better arm strength. But he's not an NFL quarterback. He's maybe a Canadian Football League quarterback. Maybe he's a franchise quarterback in the AAFL. I don't know. But I want to watch Trace McSorley play. I'm selfish, and I like his style of play. I hope he goes somewhere where he can actually be on the field. But I don't think Trace McSorley he's definitely not a franchise quarterback in the NFL. And I don't know that he's even necessarily a top-tier backup. He might make a roster somewhere, but his skill set does not translate well to the NFL. Now, my top three quarterbacks entering the NFL draft, supposedly that we know of, go as followed. My number one quarterback available right now is the Ohio State quarterback, Dwayne Haskins. Followed by number two, Justin Herbert from Oregon. And number three, Drew Lock from Missouri. I do also plan to discuss a couple other quarterbacks. We'll get to it in a minute. But first, I want to start with Drew Lock, the quarterback from Missouri. This guy has the biggest arm in the draft. He's fantastic. He can throw the ball a mile. And I think here's where I think the best fit for Drew Lock is. Drew Lock could succeed with the New York Giants. I think the Giants are the best fit for him. Be careful of my wording. The Giants are the best fit for Drew Lock. He has a huge arm. He's got a great deep ball, especially down the sideline. Tear him up with Odell Beckham Jr. That's a match made in heaven. I think it'd be special. But Drew Lock misses a lot of reads. And he struggles with accuracy randomly at very weird times. I don't understand. On easy throws. But I do think Pat Shurmur, the Giants head coach, an offensive guru, a guy who helped Case Keenum last year in Minnesota, Pat Shurmur could really help Drew Lock develop as a quarterback. So he has a ton of room to grow. Here's why I think the Giants are a good fit for Drew Lock. There's no pressure. The Giants have Eli Manning. There's no pressure for Drew Lock to come in and play right away. Eli's presence would give Drew Lock the benefit of taking his time and getting ready and fully prepared before he's thrown to the Wolves. So New York is the best fit for Drew Lock. It allows him to buy some time. He's not expected to play immediately. And I think his arm strength could work in New York. I think Drew Lock could succeed in New York, but Drew Lock while New York might be the best fit for Drew Lock, Drew Lock is not necessarily the best fit for New York. Does that make sense? I think it does. Ohio State quarterback Dwayne Haskins is the best fit for the New York Giants. In fact, Dwayne Haskins is my favorite quarterback in this draft class, if he does indeed enter the NFL draft. Just imagine this. Odell Beckham Jr., Saquon Barkley, and Dwayne Haskins is throwing to all of them. Both of them. It's unbelievable. That'd be fantastic. That is a match made in heaven. Dwayne Haskins is the best quarterback for the New York Giants. Haskins is awesome. Here's the most interesting thing you will see on Dwayne Haskins' highlight tape, on his film. You watch his good throws, bad throws, whatever. When you watch Dwayne Haskins play football, you will see, especially compared to Justin Herbert, the Oregon quarterback, you'll see Dwayne Haskins throws into far more tight windows than Justin Herbert. It's not to say Justin Herbert doesn't throw into tight windows. There's some throws against Cal. There's a corner against Cal. It's unbelievable. But more often than not, Justin Herbert's guys are wide open. And more often than Dwayne Haskins is, than Justin Herbert is, Dwayne Haskins, here's my point. Dwayne Haskins repeatedly, often, all the time throws into really tight windows and makes NFL-level throws, where his receiver will beat a man by a step, and Dwayne Haskins rips it, pulls the trigger, throws a dime. That happens all the time when you watch Dwayne Haskins. He's got great footwork. He's got great accuracy down the field. If I could design a perfect scenario that would fit everybody in the NFL draft, the Giants would get Drew Lock. The Giants would draft Drew Lock, the Missouri quarterback. They'd let Eli Manning play a little bit longer. Drew Lock would learn under Eli, get all ready to go, and Drew Lock would be totally ready when he entered the NFL to become a starting quarterback. Again, if I could draw everything up the way I wish it could happen, like a fairy tale, the Washington Redskins would get Dwayne Haskins. He's ready to play now, at least now-ish. And Alex Smith, we don't know how bad his leg injury is. Alex Smith could be out for his career. And it looks like the Redskins might need a quarterback to be ready to play week 1 next year. Dwayne Haskins is that guy, especially in the cold and Washington later in the year. Dwayne Haskins translates pretty well to the Washington Redskins. In my perfect scenario, the Jacksonville Jaguars get Justin Herbert. This is what I hope happens. His arm strength does not fit New York. It's not as great for Washington in the cold. You don't want him in the NFC East. But you can get Justin Herbert in Florida, playing in Houston, playing in a dome in Indianapolis, playing in Tennessee. That's what I want to see from Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert in Florida is a great fit. Fantastic. Now, I want you to watch Dwayne Haskins versus Penn State. Go watch that game film. Look up Dwayne Haskins versus Penn State 2018. And what you will see is that Dwayne Haskins really, really struggled early in the game. But he kept fighting. He kept going. He stayed resilient. And that is what I respect. That's why I think Dwayne Haskins is the best quarterback in this draft class. Now, if I were to compare the skill sets of all three of these guys, who does Drew Lock compare to? Who does Dwayne Haskins compare to? Who does Justin Herbert compare to? Drew Lock's skill set compares to Jay Cutler. Not the personality, not the angry sideline, but simply the ability to throw the ball, that huge arm. You remember, Jay Cutler had some fantastic years in Chicago throwing the football. I think Drew Lock is very similar, with both from the SEC, but more often than that is the large, incredible arm strength that Drew Lock has. He's not Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes, but Drew Lock has a great arm. Reminds me of Jay Cutler. Dwayne Haskins reminds me of Alex Smith. Alex Smith does a thing where he does not pull the trigger on deep balls, things like that. Dwayne Haskins doesn't have that gene, but physical ability-wise, ability to run the ball a little bit, great arm downfield. Dwayne Haskins reminds me a lot of Alex Smith as far as talent, not mental makeup, not throwing the ball, pulling the trigger downfield. Because Dwayne Haskins is not safe like Alex Smith, but their skill set is very similar. Now, Justin Herbert's skill set reminds me a lot of Derek Carr, the Raiders quarterback. Derek Carr does not get enough credit for his mobility. That is what Justin Herbert does, similar to Derek Carr. I don't know that Justin Herbert's going to run as much as some quarterbacks like Lamar Jackson. I don't think he's quite that good of an athlete, but he can buy time. So Lamar Jackson runs to run. Justin Herbert runs to buy time and keep the ball, his eyes downfield and throw the ball downfield. Now, there's a next level between what Derek Carr does by rolling out to the right, buying time. What Russell Wilson does is not Justin Herbert. Russell Wilson will be getting sacked. He'll somehow slip out of it. He'll slip out of an arm tackle, run, extend a play, and do a cartwheel and throw the ball downfield. That's not Justin Herbert's skill set. Justin Herbert is far more like Derek Carr. He can run for some yards. He can maybe break a long run sometimes. But more often than not, the way that Justin Herbert uses his legs is to extend plays, especially I think at the NFL level. Roll to the right, extend a play a little longer, buy time to throw the ball downfield, not necessarily run for the sake of running. Again, I think the best fit for Justin Herbert is with the Jacksonville Jaguars. He could succeed there. I think Justin Herbert could succeed in Washington too. I just think the best fit for Justin Herbert is in Jacksonville, Florida. Here's what really scares me, though. The idea of having Drew Lock, the Missouri quarterback, go to the Washington Redskins. That is the one that scares me the most. If the Redskins need a quarterback to start week 1, it cannot be Drew Lock. I love Drew Lock. I think he needs time under a veteran quarterback. That's why the Giants are the best fit for Drew Lock. He could learn for a couple weeks, maybe months, I don't know, under Eli Manning. He's not going to be ready to start week 1. I think you need to give Drew Lock a team that can buy him some time. I want to now shift your attention from Drew Lock and Dwayne Haskins and Justin Herbert. I want to talk about Jarrett Stidham. Jarrett Stidham is the former Auburn quarterback. He made a weird decision. He made a decision to leave Auburn a year early and enter the NFL draft. And I have no idea why he did this. I don't get it. He's not very good. He's a great guy. He's well-spoken. He's not a first-round quarterback. I don't understand. He needs time to sit on the bench. He's not ready to go. He makes far too many irresponsible throws. He lacks accuracy. He does have a good deep ball, but that's about it. Great deep ball, it's not enough. You're really, who does he remind me of? Jarrett Stidham's skill set reminds me a lot of Ryan Tannehill, actually. Misses weird throws, can run far better than you would think, has a good deep ball. And I wonder if the Bengals might take a chance at Jarrett Stidham later in the draft. I think the Bengals are getting increasingly frustrated with Andy Dalton. And if it's a third or fourth round, maybe the Bengals take a chance on Jarrett Stidham, the former Auburn quarterback. I now want to talk about Will Grier. Will Grier went to West Virginia. And he's highly prepared to read defense. Will Grier is polished when it comes to the mental side of football. Makes really good decisions within structures. Now, what Will Grier is terrible at doing is when Will Grier has to scramble to get outside of the pocket, does not work. Do not let Will Grier scramble. He makes bad decisions. He throws interceptions. He throws haphazard throws. He takes sacks. It is not good. You want Will Grier to stay within the pocket. You do not want Will Grier outside the pocket running, buying time. It does not work. Here's another big problem with Will Grier. Will Grier can't buy time. He can't extend plays. It doesn't work. He also has a weaker arm. He has the very bare minimum you need to succeed in the NFL. But if you watch the way Will Grier throws the football, his mechanics are not very good. He throws with his entire arm rather than using his legs down low. It loses a lot of velocity. His ball does not have as much velocity as it could because he throws all arm rather than using his legs. The best fit for Will Grier is for him to sit behind Tom Brady. I think they have similar skill sets, especially if Will Grier can fix his mechanics. If Will Grier can sit behind Tom Brady, learn how to use his legs, learn how to work within the pocket, instead of throwing all arm, learn how to play like Tom Brady, copy his mechanics, that could be a successful formula to help Will Grier. Will Grier understands reading defenses. He really does. He could operate the Patriots system. I think if you can fix a mechanic, give him a compact delivery, let him learn under Tom Brady for a couple of years, I think that Will Grier could absolutely be the next Patriots quarterback. Two other quarterbacks I want to talk about. Very interesting. A name popped up while I was looking at these NFL prospects. A name, Daniel Jones, the quarterback from Duke. And it is bizarre to me why his name showed up. Some kind of nobodies have been evaluating, going, oh, Daniel Jones is the next guy. And look, he's a junior. Daniel Jones, the Duke quarterback, should absolutely stay in college. He should not leave early. I will say this about Daniel Jones. Say something nice. He's been really well coached. He's pretty polished. David Cutcliffe, who is Peyton Manning's quarterback coach all throughout his career in the offseason. David Cutcliffe is Daniel Jones' head coach at Duke. But Daniel Jones is just very boring, very conservative with the ball. And he's nearly a finished product, which means that he's just a conservative kind of guy who's already hit his ceiling. There's not a lot more to get out of Daniel Jones. He's got great fundamentals. Here's what I would do. If I was a general manager looking at Daniel Jones, the Duke quarterback, I'd draft him to be my backup. He's a perfect backup. He could have a little bit of brief success for a game or two here or there. He'd be great for the quarterback room. He'd be positive. He's well-spoken, be a good influence. But he's not a long-term starter. That's my problem with Daniel Jones. Doesn't quite have enough arm strength. Doesn't quite have enough accuracy. Daniel Jones is Case Keenum. That's who Daniel Jones translates to, is Case Keenum. But I do like Daniel Jones. Here's the difference between Daniel Jones and Jake Browning. I would not draft Jake Browning, the UW quarterback. I would draft Daniel Jones, the quarterback out of Duke. If I had a franchise quarterback, I was looking for a backup, a guy who's stable, nice, would get along, study hard, be ready for his moment, I would draft Daniel Jones. But if I'm Daniel Jones' dad, I'm telling him, dude, go back to college. You're at Duke. You'll get a great degree. Stay in college for one more year. Polish up, get a little bit better. You can enter the NFL draft next year. I don't know why people think Daniel Jones is coming out. He's not a big name. I'm sorry, he's fine. He's okay. But Daniel Jones is not the next great franchise quarterback. There's one last guy I want to talk about. Kyler Murray, the Oklahoma quarterback. He is the most fascinating prospect in years because, first of all, he's got a $5 million contract with the Oakland A's. That's ridiculous. He's got a baseball contract. He also just won the Heisman. It's very, very fascinating. And he's got to make a decision. Does he want to play baseball or does Kyler Murray want to go play football professionally? Which one do you want to do? It's a very, I wish I had that choice, to be honest. Here's what I'm rooting for as a consumer. I hope Kyler Murray plays football. That's what I want to see Kyler Murray do. If only for the drama. We've never seen a tiny, fast quarterback like Kyler Murray do what he's about to do. If he enters the NFL draft, I would be, oh my God, I'd be ecstatic. He's a better passer than Lamar Jackson. He runs like Michael Vick, maybe a little better, a little faster, incredibly quick. But I think baseball might be the smarter choice for Kyler Murray. I mean, I don't know. You would think it's more money. You think it's a little easier on your body. But what do you enjoy more? I don't know. Here's how I would make this. If I'm Kyler Murray, or if I'm Kyler Murray's dad, here's how I'm advising him to make this decision. I'll put it on me. If I was Kyler Murray, here's what I would do. When I'm 50 years old and I look back on my life, which decision would I regret not doing? So if you can go play baseball for 20 years, have a great life, you're rich, you're happy, and you're never going to wonder, what if I played football? If you're never going to have that conflict in your head, go play baseball. If you can go play football and you'll never have the conflict, what if I played, you know what I mean? If whatever one you can live with when you're 50 years old and feel like you did the right thing, that's what you should do. I don't know. I mean, if he loves baseball, he should play baseball. I don't know. I do know that working your way up through the minor leagues is incredibly tough. Really, really, really difficult. And, he could play quarterback in the NFL. Seems like it. I don't know. I would hope so. But it is also worth noting, look, the Oakland A's gave him a $5 million contract, and they liked him so much they said, you can even go play football for one more year. What that tells me is the Oakland A's must really, really want him. So I want to repeat one last thing. My top 3 quarterbacks in the NFL draft go as followed. Dwayne Haskins is my favorite quarterback if he enters the NFL draft. Then it goes Justin Herbert, and then it goes Drew Lock, the Missouri quarterback. Again, though, remember, only a couple of quarterbacks are guaranteed to be in the draft. Dwayne Haskins has more eligibility left. Daniel Jones has more eligibility. Technically, Kyler Murray could play another year. Technically, Justin Herbert could play another year. Only Drew Lock, Will Grier, and Jarrett Stidham are committed to the NFL draft at this time. Oh, and Ryan Finley, who I don't care about, and Jake Browning has to. He's a senior. We don't have enough information to have all these mock drafts come out. It's driving me nuts. Daniel Jones in the first round, he's a junior and he's not even very good. Stop wasting everybody's time with these stupid mock drafts. I don't know. I hope Drew Lock goes to New York. I hope Dwayne Haskins goes to the Redskins. And I hope that Justin Herbert goes to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Hi, my name is Zach Schaumler. This is my podcast, Strong Opinion Sports. It is my favorite thing in the entire world. Honestly, I hate doing these little pitches. I feel like kind of a used car salesman, but I have to tell you, if you don't subscribe to Strong Opinion Sports, please do. Subscribe on YouTube, on iTunes, on SoundCloud, Spotify very soon. It helps me. It means a lot to me. And if you really like Strong Opinion Sports, tell your friends. Share it on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever it is. Help me grow by telling your friends about the show. My name is Zach Schaumler. Thank you so much, and have a great day.